So I just finished a 7-hour binge of Walking Dead season 9. It's season 9, half of season 9. Then I had breakfast. Then I took a long shower so I can think about it. And now I'm gonna talk about it. Ow. Hello everybody and welcome to my review of The Walking Dead season 9. Before I begin, here's a major league spoiler warning. You've been warned. The first episode of the season begins. We see the main members of the group going together to Washington to a natural art history museum. They're going there to pick up some kind of agricultural equipment as well as seed. We're not told that at the beginning of the first episode, but we were told that somewhere later that it has been around 1.5 years since the whole war between Negan and the group. And since then, obviously, there's been some tension between the group. We noticed that the whole dynamics between Daryl, Rick, and Maggie, it's just not the same. It feels cold, it feels distant, it feels different. But regardless, the group is still trying to support Rick's vision of beautiful Eden that is basically just Carl's dying wish. It just doesn't seem to be working. Like, ugh. And then we see Gregory, aka Grima Wormtail, trying to slit her tongue. Convince this boring random couple to kill Maggie. And that whole scene with the bridge, it just didn't make sense. Like, this is the thing with Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I especially like this season. I'm gonna tell you right now, I like this season. But the moment you start thinking about certain things in this season, you realize that there's just some stupid, lazy writing that doesn't make sense. Oh my God, what the hell? Like, if you're going on a bridge and there's a herd behind you and you're with the horses and you say, leave the horses because we're not gonna make it. And then one of the people goes back and then the horse kills him. And then you kill the entire herd. What was the point of leaving the horses at the very beginning? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't get it. And if that didn't happen, then there would be no plot and there would be no point. Gregory Grima Wormtail's session trying to convince that. But then again, I'm kind of glad that it did happen because he was a dick and he deserved to die. So props to you, Maggie, for finally having the balls to kill him. Jesus. Jesus. We'll get to that later. And then in episode 2, Rick gives one of his powerful monologues to Negan. And you just see that Negan, he doesn't buy that crap that Rick is trying to sell. He knows that shit ain't gonna work. It's gonna fall and it's gonna fall on you. Another thing, so a year and a half has passed between season 8 and season 9. And then all of a sudden, a month and a half or something like that passes between episodes 1 and 2 in season 9. This whole time skip thing is so confusing to my brain, which brings me to another issue. I was completely fine with the fact that Rick and Michonne hooked up and we never got the answer of how they hooked up all of a sudden. That was fine. That was okay to me. But you cannot rinse and repeat it over and over and over again. Now we get Carol and Ezekiel. They're together. I mean, there was a dynamic between them, but it felt more like a Carol and Daryl dynamic, like friendship. Not like this. And then there's Gabe and the artsy chick. Me want you tonight. She's definitely into some kinky shit. I don't know why I just started laughing, but when I saw Maggie and Glenn wannabe in that car, I just lost my shit. Some just cheap knockoff version of Glenn. And then of course between episodes 2, 3, and 4, we see this conflict arise between the groups. Like, you just can't have this. Like, it's okay with the Hilltop and the Alexandria and even the Oceanside, but you just can't put the saviors into it. Not that easy, not that fast, especially not with the people who are just being douchebags. Why not imprison the douchebags? Why not imprison them or just let them loose, kill them or something, and then do the reform with the other people who are willing to reform? It worked obviously in the previous season when those guys were trapped on the hilltop and they changed. Why not just do it again? Again, too much thinking. Another cool thing what I really liked was that whole montage with Michonne passing the days. Michonne by day, zombie killer by night. Rick just seemed overly delusional with this absurd last dying wish from his son. It is not working properly, or you're just not implementing it properly, and it could have been changed if they're a half normal person as they seem to be, because they are, otherwise they wouldn't survive this long. So I just blame the bad writing for that. They could have thought of different ways to make the groups work together. There's just this logical problem. Literally, and then the whole scene with Rick and Daryl and in the hole and then climbing. And then that happens. Horses are fucking dicks. Seriously, I read about, before even watching the whole season, I read about it. I knew that this was last season from Rick, or is it? And I thought that he was gonna die. I thought that he's gonna get like this whole for to watch Jon Snow rebellion experience, but no, he had to fall off his horse onto a concrete wire, whatever that's called, and just die. I mean, he didn't die then, but he walked and walked and walked and walked. Ha! He was one of the Walking Dead. Oh, but still. First of all, he's not dead, right? He didn't die. He got saved by the weird RC chick in the chopper. And what is with that chopper? Are those the Whispers? Who are they? I need answers. That's what I liked about The Walking Dead. It leaves me questioning. She saved him and he is somewhere right now. It's been 6 years and he's somewhere probably. And I get the reason why they didn't fully kill him, because this sort of opens the chance of him coming back, I guess, to the show at one point. Maybe. So he's out there, he's alive. I just don't know what happened to him. And I love it, but I hate it. And now we come to the better part of this season, because the first 4 to 5 episodes, they were Rick-centric and they were focused on Rick, and then they had this B plot line of, I don't know, being a House of Cards wannabe TV show with politics happening in behind. People plot against Maggie, people plot against Rick. And then now we come to this huge 6-year gap. And I love, it's refreshing. Rick had to go because this opened a whole new door, a whole new plot. And we don't know what happened in this 6 years. Again, we get a new couple, Gabe and Rosita. Gabe, you player. I don't care, but I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is something happened in those 6 years. There's this big conflict that happened between Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Maggie. Like, I don't know what happened. Daryl and Michonne, they have this X symbol on their lower left back. What was that? They are completely shut up, because when they see each other, like after these, I don't know how many years, they're like, oh, hey, it's nice to see you. If you went back to a couple of seasons back, if they saw each other again, they'd be like, yeah, where are you? Woohoo! Now it just like feels like they're like estranged. It feels political sort of in a way, like everybody's taking care of their own village, of their own community. I like that. It opens the door to something that we haven't seen before, because sort of we had this similar formula, even with Negan, who I love. Oh my God, I love. When that whole scene with Judith talking to Negan and Negan helping her solve math, I just love it. I love the fact that people go into Negan's cell and they confess to him about stuff, or they just have this sessions of conversation. That's just freaking awesome. Previous seasons, but I mean, the show had this very similar formula. We have the group has a new enemy. The group finds another group. The group unites to kill the enemy, or the group just kills the enemy. It was always like that. And now, for the first time, or maybe after a long time, the group is sort of not against each other, but they all have their own priorities in a way. What the fuck happened to Carol's hair? Like, I'm not getting it. I just saw my notes here, and but my God, that scene with Carol where she's like taking her Henry or whatever annoying kid's name is, and she's taking him to the hilltop. We see the group of saviors from the previous episodes before they got kicked out, and Carol just goes all Rambo on them. Good job, Carol. Good for you. Fucking badass. I love it. Did anybody else notice that Rick and Michonne actually had a baby? I thought that was Michonne remembering one of her children from the past, but no, that's Michonne's and Rick's kid. Was it JR or something? RJ or something like that was his name? I can't remember. Who locked Negan's cell? Who locked it? Should I talk about this? Like, I mean, Gabe is the one usually going there, or he was the one with the last Negan duty. How hard is it to lock a cell? Every time I lock my door, I go and check if I actually locked it. Do you guys do that? Like, do you check your doors? Because I don't get it. How did he? What? Then we come to the last episode of the season, which was great. I love they put walkers as a threat again in a way. We knew that the walkers they weren't evolving. If any person who went on the internet before when the trailers began and started googling stuff, they found out about the Whispers. So we knew that this were the Whispers who were controlling the herds. But it was just so creepy, and then that whole montage with Jesus cutting the walkers up, and he goes to stab the last walker, and then he just bam, stabs him right through the heart and just goes, "You're not where you're supposed to be," or something like that. Poor Jesus. I liked Jesus. I liked it, but that's one of the biggest things I liked about this show, is that you never know who's gonna die. So I did not expect him to die. This was a proper way of introducing the new enemies, and I loved it. Overall, the new season of The Walking Dead, it was excellent. I liked it. It went really fast for me. And if you haven't been watching The Walking Dead for the past couple of seasons, I recommend you do start watching, because it's a really good. It's still a really good show. I don't think it's gonna go more than 10 seasons, maybe 11, but so far what I've seen, I liked it, and I hope that they keep going into that direction. So, have you seen the new season of The Walking Dead? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. By the way, how long has it been since the first episode that Rick woke up in season 1 up to the point of now? How long has it been? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys